In the heart of the city where the mundane meets the extraordinary, a chilling secret lies buried. This city, a sprawling metropolis, teems with life. It's a place where every corner holds a story, where the ordinary and the extraordinary coexist in a peculiar harmony. It's a city that's seen it all, heard it all, yet still manages to surprise at every turn. In the city's pulsating heart, something strange has been unearthed. An object, mysterious in nature, found buried deep beneath the age-old cobblestone streets. It's not your everyday find, not a relic from the past, nor a forgotten piece of the city's history. This is something different, something unsettling. This object, you see, doesn't belong to this world, or so it seems. It's an enigma, wrapped in layers of questions and mystery. It exudes an eerie glow, a light that seems to pulse with a life of its own. It's cold to the touch, yet somehow radiates an energy that makes the very air around it crackle. The discovery was made quite by accident, by a group of construction workers digging for a new subway line. Their shovels hit something hard, something that clanged with a sound that echoed through the underground tunnel. As they wiped away the dirt, they were met with a sight that would send chills down the bravest of spines. The strange object lay there, in the stark light of their torches, a silent testament to a mystery that was about to unravel. News of the find spread like wildfire. The city was abuzz with speculation and whispers. What was this strange object? Where did it come from? What did it mean? Theories were spun, stories were told, and yet no one could crack the enigma that now lay at the heart of the city. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of a terrifying journey into the unknown. As the city's scholars scrutinized the object, they unearthed a tale that defied time and logic. An ancient artifact it was, of a time long forgotten. But its story was far from lost. It bore an inscription, a cryptic puzzle etched into its surface, waiting to be solved. The scholars, with their wisdom and curiosity, set out to unravel this mystery. The artifact was a relic, a piece of history that felt like it was from another world. The scholars found themselves drawn into its intricate design, its cryptic symbols, and the enigma it presented. With every passing moment, the artifact seemed to reveal more of its secrets, each more perplexing than the last. The inscription, they realized, was not just a random assortment of symbols. It was a language, an ancient form of communication that held the key to unlocking the artifact's true purpose. As the scholars delved deeper into the artifact's mysteries, the excitement in the air was palpable. They pored over ancient texts, cross-referenced symbols, and debated theories late into the night. Each symbol they deciphered was a step closer to understanding the artifact's true significance, yet with every revelation, the artifact's true nature seemed to grow more elusive, more enigmatic. It was as if the artifact was testing them, challenging them to decipher its secrets. The scholars' efforts were not in vain. They made progress, steadily chipping away at the inscription's puzzle. They began to understand the artifact's age, its origin, and its purpose. The artifact, they realized, was not just an object of historical interest. It held a prophecy, a warning from a time long past. The scholars, with their knowledge and expertise, had unraveled a mystery that spanned centuries. But as they deciphered the last symbol, a chill filled the room. The scholars looked at each other, their faces pale, their hearts pounding. They had unlocked the prophecy, but at what cost? The final symbol was not just a conclusion. It was a harbinger, a sign of things to come. As the last symbol was deciphered, a shiver ran down their spines. The prophecy had begun. In the dead of the night, the city began to change, reflecting the prophecy's terrifying words. As if a puppeteer was pulling the strings, the city twisted and contorted in ways that defied logic. Buildings seemed to grow taller, shadows deepened, and the once friendly corners turned into gaping maws of darkness. An undercurrent of dread slithered through the streets, seeping into the very bricks and mortar of every home, every establishment. The prophecy, once dismissed as a mere law, was unfolding in real time. The city's inhabitants, once dismissive of the prophecy, could no longer ignore the tangible fear that clawed at their senses. The laughter and merriment of the city's nightlife were replaced with hushed whispers and frantic prayers. Strangers huddled together, their shared fear erasing the lines of familiarity. The once bustling city was now a tableau of terror, a chilling still life painting under the moon's cold gaze. As the prophecy foretold, the city's heartbeat changed. The once rhythmic pulse of life now echoed with a haunting dirge. The prophecy had spoken of a bell tolling 13 times at midnight, a sound that would herald the beginning of the end. And as the clock struck 12, the city held its breath. 1, 2, 3. Up to 12 the bell tolled, and then the unthinkable. A 13th toll rang out, echoing ominously through the silent city, confirming the prophecy's grim prediction. The panic escalated. The city's inhabitants, once rational beings, were now driven by primal fear. The prophecy was no longer a tale told to scare children. It was their reality. A reality that was spiraling out of control, a nightmare that they couldn't wake up from. The prophecy had spoken of a guardian, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. But as the city succumbed to fear, one question echoed louder than the deafening silence that had fallen upon the city. The prophecy had spoken of a guardian, but where was this saviour? In the city's darkest hour, a figure stepped forward, seemingly ordinary, yet radiating an unseen strength. Amidst the chaos and dread, from the shadows emerged the guardian. An unlikely hero, one might say, as he was no warrior, no sage, just an ordinary citizen of this tormented city. Yet, there was something extraordinary about him, an aura of courage and resolve that set him apart. This guardian was not chosen by destiny or birthright. Instead, he was a self-appointed defender, driven by his love for the city and its people. His character was as diverse as the city itself, a blend of compassion and audacity, of wisdom and naivety. His heart held an unwavering belief that even in the face of adversity, hope can thrive. It was this belief that made him stand up when everyone else was bowing down to fear. Upon hearing the prophecy, he did not tremble or despair. Instead, he took it as a call to arms, a challenge to be met head-on. He understood that prophecies, no matter how terrifying, are not set in stone. They are but warnings, a glimpse of what might come to pass if nothing changes. And change, he knew, was in his hands. He was not blind to the dangers he would face. He knew the path was treacherous, laden with uncertainties and horrors beyond imagination. Yet, he did not falter. His determination was not born out of ignorance, but out of acceptance. He accepted the potential for loss, for failure, even for death. But he also accepted the possibility of triumph, of saving his city from the brink of destruction. The Guardian did not possess magical powers or mighty weapons. His strength lay in his spirit, his will to fight, to endure, to persevere. He was the city's beacon of hope, its shield against darkness, its guardian. With a grim determination, the Guardian prepared to face the prophecy's final, horrifying prediction. As the prophecy's ultimate horror unfolded, the Guardian stood alone, facing the city's darkest fear. The air was thick with anticipation, the silence deafening as the once bustling city had now descended into an eerie quiet. The Guardian, a beacon of hope against the enveloping darkness, confronted the final prediction. A prediction so terrifying it made the blood in your veins run cold. A prediction that threatened to consume the city and its inhabitants in its monstrous grip. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been torn asunder, a nightmare made flesh. The Guardian stood before this manifestation of fear, courage burning in their eyes. Their heart pounded in their chest, a rhythmic drum echoing the countdown to the city's potential doom. The prophecy had spoken of a horror beyond comprehension, a malevolent force that would plunge the city into an abyss of despair. And now it was here, a tangible darkness that cast an ominous shadow over everything it touched. The Guardian faced this horror, a lone figure against the backdrop of an impending apocalypse. As the minutes ticked by, the city's fate hung precariously in the balance. Every heart in the city beat in unison, a symphony of fear and hope. The city's inhabitants watched from their hiding places, their eyes wide with terror, their breath hitching in their throats. The Guardian conjured every ounce of their strength, their resolve unwavering despite the overwhelming odds. They were the city's last hope, the only barrier between the prophecy's horror and the city's destruction. Every step they took towards the horror was a testament to their bravery, a beacon of hope in the face of despair. The tension was palpable, the city on the brink of a precipice. The moment of reckoning was here. The Guardian, their spirit unbroken, lunged forward. confronting the horror head-on. The city held its breath, the silence punctuated by the pounding of countless hearts. As the Guardian lunged forward, the city held its breath, wondering if this was the end or just the beginning of their nightmare.